Hey, if you're in your 40s to 60s and you've been looking for some sort of business idea, I'm going to tell you about learning and information, why I believe it's the best business model, what platform I believe is the best, and how it compares to all the rest. So stick around. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right away. It's Skool. And here is why. Here's what Skool isn't. Skool is not a funnel, a website, a email sequence, or above all else, it's not social media. It is interest-based community. And I'm going to tell you why that makes a huge difference. Because, like I said, Skool is a platform. And I want you to think of Skool like our solar system or the Milky Way galaxy. But I want you to think much bigger because Skool is a galaxy. The platform is a galaxy or a solar system. Now, whereas there's only 8 planets in this solar system, there's hundreds of thousands in Skool. When you go to the Skool community, this is the community that is made for people who have school groups, and they share best practices and advice in here completely for free. Nobody pitches anybody, and it's just a really supportive place to be. But each one of these 190,000 members represents an individual that owns at least one and maybe more school groups. So it is a solar system of people sharing their knowledge on different subjects. And why this is good, especially if you are 40 to 60, is you know something that is valuable to other people. Now, you may not feel that you do, but I'm going to prove to you that you do, because knowledge is vastly underrated as long as it solves problems for people. Because problem solving equals value and value equals money. And usually all knowledge is you have done something. You have gotten from point A to point B. You remember when you were at point A and you were unhappy, you were depressed, or you were discouraged, and then you figured something out through a logical, sequential process, so many steps. And then you got to point B and you were happy. You used that existing knowledge, you solved your own problem, and you know what? That now makes you qualified to share that knowledge with other people, because someone will pay you to learn that very same thing if it saves them time, saves them money, saves them stress and headaches of having to figure out how to learn it, or it makes them money. And that's a bonus, but that's not necessary. Unlike selling courses on how to make money, this is simply you choose a subject in one of these 8 categories. And why I say these 8 categories, these are the exact categories that Skool offers: hobbies, spirituality, tech, music, health, sports, self-improvement, and relationships. And then you know what you do? You just show up and you teach, or you learn, because you don't have to be the expert here. You could just host the party and bring in people that are vastly more experienced than you, and then you guys can split the proceeds from what they're teaching other people. What you're bringing to the table is the knowledge of how to do this, and they're bringing their knowledge to the table of the subject. Or you've learned a lot about the subject, you know a lot about the subject, and more importantly, you love the subject, then you can create your own Skool community. And that's all there is to it. It's very simple. It's the most basic business model, especially for us in the 40 to 60 range. Because when you talk about businesses, especially for those of us who created the internet, but don't really profit from the internet, you got to talk about cost, you got to talk about the learning curve, and you got to talk about speed to launch. And that's what we're going to do with the rest of this video, is talk about all those things. Number 1, cost. Now, there's a bunch of platforms out here that claim to be learning and teaching platforms. There's a bunch of them, but none of them have the advantages that Skool has. Well, we're going to start with cost. Mighty Networks, $41 a month. I look at it as a nice building with way too many rooms. You'll get lost finding the light switches. There's too much going on. It's too complicated. Now, I will tell you, in total transparency, I haven't tried any of these other ones because they've been a waste of my time. Whereas Skool was simple from the get-go. Mighty Networks, $41 a month. Circle, $49 a month. To me, that's like renting a gorgeous empty room, and there's nowhere that you can teach inside of that. It's just a place to hang out. That doesn't do you any good. Kajabi, $149 a month. That's like buying a commercial kitchen when all you want to do is sell cookies at the farmer's market. And then last but not least is the one we all know about, and most of us probably hate by now, and that's Facebook groups. Now, yes, they are free, but you 100% get what you pay for. It's like getting free samples at the food court. It is free, but it's noisy, it's full of distraction, and you do not own it. There's nothing about a Facebook group that you own and they can take it away from you at any time. So let's go to learning curves. Now, Facebook is easy from a learning curve perspective, but again, there's no way to monetize directly on the platform. Mighty Networks, moderate, more cluttered, complicated. We in Jax, we don't like complicated, or boomers, 60 plus. We don't like complicated. We don't like cluttered. We want simple. We want basic. Circle, moderate learning curve, but you need a whole bunch of other integrations. And you know what that means? More expense. So you're going to pay more than whatever you are even to start a circle. Teachable, moderate, but no community. Community is key. That is the one differentiator in Skool that makes it the best platform, hands down, in my opinion, because it's not just about putting some course up. A lot of people have more valuable communities without even having a course. So it's about getting together. It's about hanging out. It's about live streaming. It's about sharing videos. It's about doing fun things. Because one thing that I believe that Skool is revolutionizing is how we do business. They're taking away the seriousness and the quote unquote professionalism of business, and they're just making business fun. They're gamifying the process. Kajabi, hard and way too many features. There's too much to choose from. There's too many decisions to make. And Discord, forget it. That's built for gamers. And if you're 40 plus, it is by far the hardest of all these platforms to deal with. Now, speed to implement. And for me, this is 100% key. Mighty Networks, 1 to 2 weeks to get your speed up to learning the whole thing. Circle, also 1 to 2 weeks. Teachable, 1 to 2 weeks. Kajabi, 2 to 4 weeks, because it is the most complicated platform. Now, again, I have not done all these others, but I can guarantee you it would take me at least that long to do those things. And we want to get going. We don't want to spend 1 to 2 to 4 weeks figuring this stuff out. Here is why I believe in Skool. It's easy to find, it's easy to run, and members feel at home. Community, classroom, calendar, and cash collection all in the same place. And I'm going to show you how that works by going to my Skool community. Now, this is the equivalent of having a web page, an email funnel, everything that you need, and it will convert much better. So this is the page that people see whenever they come to your community. It's what we call an about page. And if this is optimized, if it is simple, if it offers just one solution to one problem for one specific person, you will have people coming in there in droves. And the size of your community has nothing to do with how successful your community is. This is why you don't need some huge audience to start a Skool community. But you have a place where you can introduce yourself to people. You can do this with slides. You can do this with videos. You can do this with testimonials showing you know what you're talking about, and you should know what you're talking about if you're going to start a group and host it yourself. But less is more. A simple description of what somebody's going to get by being in your group, and also telling people who the group isn't for. That's just as important. And this is the differentiator between everything else. Inside of a Skool community, every post that is made gets seen by every single person who logs on to that Skool community on a given day. And they get notifications from Skool that they can do that. All right, so you can make a post, and it's as simple as posting on your personal Facebook text, and then that would be your headline. And then you write something, you select a category, and you get to choose the categories, and then you post it. And then every single person sees that. Now, if you want to take the extra step, every 72 hours, you can turn one of those posts into an email that is sent directly to them using their email address. In addition to your community, you can have a classroom. And it is so simple to start a classroom. And again, classrooms are not necessary, but if you want one, you literally give it a name, you give it a brief course description, and then you decide how people can access this learning. Do they get it at a certain level? Can they buy it now? Is it a time unlock, or is it private and they have to ask you for permission to have access to it? So that is a course. You can measure how much of a course or a module that you have completed, and you can see how simple it is. You can have folders, which are in bold. You can have pages, which are not bold. And you can have this sequence of events, and you can gamify the process, which means that as soon as somebody completes a certain level, you can give them access to something else. And so it makes them want to complete things. You can have a calendar. Inside of this calendar, you can do it a couple of ways. You can either pre-schedule the equivalent of Zooms, but we have live hosting capabilities right here in Skool. So you can do that, or you can just randomly go live if you decide that you want to do so. And you can see here, you just join the call and you start it. You don't have to pre-schedule something if you don't want to. If you decide, hey, I want to have a coffee hour with my people and I just want to hang out. Then you have members, you have a map showing people where all of your people are, and you can see most of mine are in the United States, but I do have some people outside of the US. So it's pretty darn cool that you can reach people all over the world with this type of business. And then you can have a leaderboard. And in my leaderboard, I just did a cash prize for the one who was the most active over the last 30 days. And Kior is going to be getting that cash prize soon. And then everything is here. And Skool collects all the cash for you. They also give you the ability to measure things. You can figure out where you are in the discovery ranks. You can see I am in the top 1,000 of communities in my category, and I'm also in the top 2,000 of all communities on Skool. You can see how active people are in your Skool groups. It gets measured every single day. So all of that is available to you. You can invite people to your group with a simple copy and post link. You can set up your group in literally 30 seconds. All you do is you give it a name, you give it a group description, you decide whether it's going to be free or public, you come up with a little icon, you come up with a cover page, and this thing is set up and ready to go for you. And then the last thing that you can do is you can make your Skool more exciting for other people by giving them the ability to recommend it to other people. If they're getting value, then all you have to do inside of Skool is you come over here to affiliates and you can decide they can have whatever percentage you want. Now, what this does is this incentivizes people to join your Skool community. And if you make it free and then have paid tiers inside of the free, then people will be more likely to join it as a complete stranger from you, because you can't expect somebody to marry you on the first date. So there's no point unless you are going to advertise specifically for people that are willing to pay, or you are going to advertise to people or promote it to people who already have a large audience and you already have a massive amount of trust on other platforms. Then you want to make your Skool free. And then you want to have paid tiers inside where you take them from general knowledge for free to specific help for pay. And that's how you do that. And I personally have been making 4 figures a month doing this for the last well over 12 months. So this is why I believe this is the number one way for somebody in the Gen X 40 to 60 category to make money. Because you don't have to do it by teaching people how to make money. You could go in and you could teach somebody. Let's go to Skool Discovery here. You can teach somebody how to play pickleball. You can teach somebody how to do modern calligraphy. You could teach women how to better handle menopause with health. You could teach somebody how to dance. You could teach somebody how to act. This person actually is an actor in Stranger Things and has been in Law and Order and other places. And look at this. They're making over $25,000 a month teaching people how to act. You can teach people how to date. You could teach people how to get rid of screen time. You could teach people how to scale. And this is Alex Hormozi. And if you're not familiar with who Alex Hormozi is, he is the co-owner of this platform. And he has been helping us grow it from 41,000 groups to 190,000 groups in the past 6 months because of his recent book launch. So it really doesn't matter what you want to teach. It can be anything. Here is a bourbon community. Here is a getting fit together community. Here is a cologne community. Here is a synthesizer community. Here's another fitness community. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to do. Again, you see you have all of these categories and you can just choose something that you enjoy doing. I want to show you one of these because this community is making several $1,000s a month and it literally just teaches people how to do it yourself donkey hoof trimming. So you can choose any subject you want and you can create a Skool group about it. Now, again, why I believe Skool is the best platform is because there's 20 million users and they are increasing users by about 1 million every 2 weeks. Not to mention the fact that you have Alex Hormozi, who, if you aren't familiar with him, this guy has 4 million subscribers on YouTube alone, about 11 or 12 million followers and subscribers through all platforms, and about every third video on his channel, he talks about and promotes Skool. Now, Alex has a portfolio of companies that do about $300 million, and the only one that he talks about publicly is Skool, because he firmly believes Skool will be a $4 to $6 billion business within 18 to 24 months. He has said this publicly on plenty of podcasts. So if you want a place that has community, calendar, classroom, cash collection, all in one place, and you want it at a fraction of the cost of some of these other platforms, this is where you want to be. Because you can start a community for $9 a month. Again, let's go back and compare that with some of these other platforms. Mighty Networks, $41 a month. Circle, $49. Kajabi, $149. Facebook groups are free, but not very effective. And then you have Skool clocking in at $9 a month. Now, once you need the options that you can get with a $99 a month Skool community after you're already making money, then you can upgrade. You don't need to start there. You can start a business, in a sense, for $9 a month. Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. In fact, Hormozi even says that information is not power. Knowledge is power, and knowledge is only knowledge if it changes behavior. So if you just take this information and do nothing with it, all I've done is maybe entertain you. But if you put it into practice, you could create something really amazing and really fun at the same time. So if you want to learn, because I've been on this platform for the last almost 3 years, if you want to learn for free how to do that, you can click on the link in my bio, and I have a free Skool community that teaches you as a 40 to 60 the fastest way to get your school up and running, as well as the fastest way to start bringing people to your school and making money from your school. And if you want to check out some of the other videos to get more into depth about how to build a Skool community, you can check those out here as well.